Welcome back, diecast collectors. Today we are looking at Hot Wheels Car Culture and Boulevard series, released early in 2024. I've also got an interesting little tip to show you, at least I thought it was interesting. I found these card stands. They're meant for baseball cards or playing cards of any kind. I found those on Amazon, so I'm not sponsored, just looking for something to help me display these card backs or cars in the card backs while I'm doing videos. And thought this would also make a really nice little trick if you wanted to display your cars on a shelf without opening them up and are having troubles figuring out how to display them nicely without them either tilting forward or having to lean them against the wall or whatever. These little stands work really nicely. They come in this little clear bag, and there are 20 in a box. There are other manufacturers that make these, so you can check what is available to you locally, but they pretty much all seem to be about the same. You just twist the vertical piece into the horizontal track, and this piece is adjustable. If you want, you can slide it forwards or backwards, depending on the packaging. I find that about midway works best. And they are quite robust. You can see they're not going to fall apart. So you can display your green light models or M2 or whatever you have. This one's tilted a little bit back, so I found that moving it slightly forward for the green light model worked out a little better. There is, of course, a point where the car will tilt forwards off the display based on the equilibrium and weight of the vehicle. However, you can always find a nice little balance where the vehicles still look really nice and display quite well. For Hot Wheels, this is a nice little angle here where you can really see the car, and if you want to put a whole bunch of these on a shelf, you could do so, and it would look pretty cool, I think. Also, if you're making review videos, it's another nice way of just quickly having your cars displayable while you do your review. And for me, you're going to be seeing these cars loose next to the card back cars, which I think is quite handy. The table is set and ready for 11 Car Culture and Boulevard cars. The 11th is a chase car from the Car Culture series that I was fortunate enough to find in sealed cases of the Car Culture set that I purchased online through eBay sellers. I also purchased a sealed set of Boulevard cars which do not feature a chase car, but all these cars are awesome. So we're just going to go ahead and take them all out in order, starting with number 86. Now this is the final release actually of 2023, and I do have my first release for 2024 on order. But we might as well get these cars ready for the wall, so I'm going to just put them all out on these displays with you guys so you can see just how nicely these work out. Hopefully the cars are all approximately the same weight and balanced, and hopefully we can get them all on the table. It is a bit of a squeeze, but some really nice cars from the Boulevard series as always. Very exciting series for me to collect, and I do have the full collection of these cars. Found out that they are available in boxed sets now, exclusive, I think, to Walmart, if you want to get the whole set and save the pain of opening up the cards like I did all through the last season. And now we're into Car Culture. I'm working backwards through the 5 cars so that we can end with the chase car, which is number 0 of 5. And a very interesting mix of off-road vehicles. This is the Hot Wheel Off-Road Car Culture set. Quite a desirable set as well, in my opinion. A lot of really nice castings in there, including this one, the 2018 Toyota 4Runner. Always a hit in all of the previous releases. I think there was 2, the Car Culture series. And surely this one is going to be another hit in that really cool blue. And here's the regular version of the 2005 Toyota Land Cruiser. I'll just put that one right there because now you've probably seen it. You've been watching videos, reviews of these cars from certain YouTubers that have already displayed them. But this is my first chance to see this car with you guys here. Now, I will not be opening this model. I only received one. And sometimes I open the chase cars, but I think for now, I'm just going to leave it. It looks pretty cool, and I really do like the regular version as well. So there they are, side by side. And now we can go ahead, put that box aside. And now let's take a look at all of these cars loose, next to the carded versions. We'll go in for a close look at each of the vehicles and see all those awesome details before heading over to the display wall to find their new home. Now let's take a look at this vehicle loose and up close. Lots of really nice details on this all metal die-cast body and chassis, featuring 4 rubber tires, an authentic full-size spare, plastic roof rack, and just great realistic livery on it. Details where appropriate, just like the real thing. The card back will show the 5 vehicles in the collection that you have already seen here. It does not show the chase car as part of those. And here it is. The next vehicle in the set is number 2 of 5, and that is the Toyota 4Runner. Very, very cool. Previously released in white and I believe kind of a beige color, if memory serves. There may have been other colors that I'm not remembering at this moment, but this one is probably my favorite. Actually, I do believe it was released in black. The Land Cruiser was the one that was released in beige. That's an older model. So black, white, and now blue. Definitely liking this blue version the most. 1993 Mercedes-Benz G-Class. The Big Pilot team support truck. Really shiny, nice black paint job. It has a plastic canvas roof, but no shortage of details on this really capable off-road truck. The spare tire does not look quite the same size as the wheels, but I guess in a pinch that would do. Now here's a fun casting, the Big Air Bel Air, based on a 50s Chevy Bel Air. This is the first time we've seen this casting in a premium version with all metal, and now it is quite heavy, almost unrecognizable to the mainline version in weight and details. Check out this beautiful paint job. Looks just like a Chevy from the actual 1950s, probably a 57, I think. Turquoise interior, and just lots of chrome and metal and pipes all over it. Really a cool casting to have in this premium lineup. Another really cool casting, and I think a new one, is the Range Rover Classic with this race livery on it and 333 on the door. Got some sponsor labels as well. And this sunset paint job, I'm going to call it. I don't really know what it's called, but that's what I like to think of it as. Big, huge wheels. Lots of new wheels as well in this lineup of vehicles and in Hot Wheels in general as of late. There's just so much to collect now. I just love this casting. Another very robust and heavy unit to add to your car culture lineup. Let's take a look at the Boulevard series now, starting with number 86, the 67 Ford Anglia Racer. This is quite a cool casting. It's been released a couple of times before, but this is definitely one of my favorite paint jobs on it. And it is a familiar casting if you've watched Harry Potter. I believe this is the same car that Harry Potter drives in and flies in. Of course, this one is a lot more realistic looking and decked out with all sorts of racing components. Really like those little 4-spoke white wheels, satin black painted metal base, and of course rubber tires. Can we put one? Oh, we've got a tire off the rim. I was just going to say, can we put this car on the display with the card version? I don't know if it'll support that sort of weight. No, not quite. Number 87 is a Porsche 935. Just an exquisite casting. Ready for a race number by the looks of it. And I love the colors on this car. Looks very authentic. GT race car. Really fitting wheels for this model as well. And in case I forgot to show the back, you're going to see all 5 cars here. Again, no chase models for Boulevard. And if you don't want to open these cars up, they are quite hard to find. You can wait until the end of the year for a boxed set if you're lucky enough to find them. Secondary market often seeing prices of over $200 US for the set. which is 30 cars nowadays. But still, that is sometimes a lot cheaper than buying them all on the card back and then opening them up, as what I'm starting to realize. Next up is number 88. This is a new casting and very welcome. I can't wait to see more of this car, but this is an awesome launch livery and paint job for the 96 Honda Accord. Those 5-spoke, almost Momo wheels, dare I say. I like the little unpainted metal exhaust where the rivet goes through, holding this car together. A nice touch. And that, of course, gloss painted black base. We've got 2 cars left to look at in the Boulevard series. The 95 Toyota Celica GT4. And I've got it here for you, of course. Shined up, loose mint, ready for display. This car features a roll bar, some racing graphics on it, matching wheels, and exquisite details for the headlights and taillights, just as can be found on all of these Hot Wheels. Final car in the bunch is a 93 Nissan Z. Z car. Really nice combination of blues and black on this all-metal casting with black wheels, black base, and a black interior. Metallic black, actually, for that base. Just a fantastic car. Needless to say, I don't do roll tests for these Hot Wheels because they do indeed all roll. That's the name of the game with Mattel Hot Wheels. I've got all 10 cars heading to the wall now. Let's take one last look at them. With all of the carded versions that I still have here, sealed and displayed on those card stands. Would look really nice on a shelf if I had enough space for that, but I don't. So I will be storing them away for the time being until such time that I do have space to display carded versions of these amazing Hot Wheels cars. And for now, we're going to enjoy the loose collection, as we always have here in the Diecast Museum. All right, let's take all these cars over to the wall where they have a home, just as little Neener does here in the Hot Wheels room. She's just having a snooze. Aren't you, kitty? All right, on with the show. As you can see, the wall is nicely filled up. Maybe you watched the last Car Culture video where I opened up about 30 or 40 cars to complete the wall collection. I've yet to put those last 4 in place that I found a little late to my collection. Purchased them on eBay, and they are still down here somewhere, getting ready to be opened up. Duplicate set. But we've got room for Car Culture cars, and that is at the very top here. Room for all 5, just above that Miata MX-5 from the previous Car Culture release. So let's get those put in place now. Well, they just fit. Normally I would have them facing the other direction to delineate that this series starts at the end of this series. That's why the cars face forwards and backwards. I know it bothers some of you guys, but for now, this is how I'm staying organized with the collection. So I was unable to put them in the direction I wanted because the Range Rover won't fit with this little kind of handle portion molded into the Plano 5324 display case. But this will be just fine. I'm just happy I didn't have to shift them all to a different section out of order to take advantage of the larger cubicle in these display cases, which you can see sometimes certain vehicles do need, especially trucks. And with an off-road selection, I didn't really realize that might be an issue, but luckily it wasn't a big issue. So let's move on to Boulevard. We've got some Boulevard cars to add, and where are we putting those now? I think there's one of those 4Runners in white. Oh, let's see if we can find the other one in metallic black while I try to figure out where these cars go. And indeed, there it is. It's, I'm not sure, is that black or midnight blue? I think it's a deep midnight blue. I figured out where the cars go. Now, this was the last set of Boulevard cars that we saw, including that really nice yellow Porsche. And I was just a little thrown off because I have mistakenly put this Plymouth Satellite from a much older series in the spaces that will be occupied by these 5 Boulevard cars. They will be facing the opposite direction of the last series. The cars are chronologically in order vertically. So older cars are up here coming down to newer. And then they go across, still getting newer and newer, up until where you're going to see the newest Boulevard cars right now. And there they are, nicely nestled into their new home alongside all the other awesome Boulevard cars that have been released over the last year or so. And nearby, some of the older 2012 and 2013 Boulevard cars that I do have. Not a complete collection, but there's a few stragglers that I opened up over the years. I don't have duplicates of all of them, so that's why there's only a few on the wall. That may change in a future date, but for now, just focusing on collecting the newer vehicles and filling in the holes of some of the already very complete collections, such as that Car Culture selection of vehicles. And where are those 4 cars? Let's see if we can add those in as a bonus. And here I have found all 5 cars from Open Track, released in 2018 as part of the Car Culture series of cars. I did have the one car already on the wall, as you saw, but that was only because the blister was completely blown open from being shipped, and the seller had not wrapped the blister in masking tape. That's a little tip for you guys that sell cars. You want to make sure the blister stays intact for your buyer, then wrap those in blue masking tape to prevent cracks and damage to the car. For me, it didn't matter too much because I'm opening these cars up with you guys anyways. It's a duplicate set. Let's go ahead and do that now and get these cars on the wall to finish off this video. Let's start in order with number 1 out of 5 in this selection. Just take a quick look at the packaging because it's probably been a while since you saw one of these. Maybe you have it already on your display wall and can enjoy it. But this is the Nissan Skyline GTR with one of the fanciest paint jobs I've ever seen for this model. All 5 cars, of course, seen there. Copyright 2018 somewhere in the bottom corner. And I've just gone ahead with a X-Acto blade or razor blade, cut that open so that we can see this wicked model. Lots of details. So Hot Wheels has been putting a lot of details into the Car Culture cars for a number of years now. Very consistently high quality models, of course, all metal. Of course, all metal with rubber tires. Next up, number 2 of 5, Mercedes-Benz 190E 2.5 1.6 with the Momo Racing livery all over this car. And there it is, brilliant red. That nicely contrasting yellow for the Momo. Great headlights, grille. Number 88 on the door. And all sorts of sponsorship badges. Nice looking car. Very heavy duty. And here we have the 2016 Mercedes AMG GT3. I'm just going to pry this car back out of the packaging. I didn't really bother cutting this one open. It already found its way out, of course. Charcoal metallic gray, best I can tell. Number 1, AMG on the door. What a phenomenal looking supercar this is. Clearly ready for the racetrack. One of my personal favorites, the Audi R8 LMS. Another number 1 car here. And this one has a really nice metallic red painted base, black rims with rubber tires, and a pearlescent white paint job, showing off all that awesome detail. It does appear that we've got a bit of a rub of the livery off the very front nose of the car where it says L8. Oh well. Good thing I got 2 of them. And finally, number 4 of 5. Oh, I went out of order. Sorry, guys. That was 5 out of 5. Now 4 out of 5. The Acura NSX GT3, another personal favorite car of mine. I really just like these cars a lot. Love to be able to drive one in real life, even for a minute. And check out the race livery on this one. We've got the carbon fiber look on the roof and the hood. Another big, huge spoiler on this car. NSX GT. Lots of livery showing the supporters of the parts and components that make up this race car. Very, very nice selection of cars. Let's take them over to the wall now in the proper order for the display. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. At last, I can call the Car Culture loose display complete. Up until this date and awaiting the 2024 cars as we make room for the final 5 that we're missing at the time that I thought I was doing the complete Car Culture video with you guys about a month ago. Well, it's complete now. Fitting, these 2 cars are side by side. The Mercedes-Benz. Oh, that's a Jetta. Forgive me. I had to take a second look at that, but I'm looking through the camera with you guys, so forgive me. All right. Still, nice pairing. Red car, spoiler, spoiler. And the final car, where we won't probably notice that it's got a little piece of paint missing on the nose. Not for very long anyways. That's it. Collection complete until the next video of Car Culture coming in 2024. Well, if you were after any of those cars, of course, happy hunting. Hopefully you can find them. Stay tuned for more Hot Wheels videos coming. I've got Team Transport. Lots of Team Transport from the last year or 2 to look at, including new 2-packs, older Hot Wheels, new Hot Wheel entertainment cars, a nice selection of older Fast and the Furious cars. I'm not sure where they came from yet. We'll figure it out. And so much more. Stay tuned for the next video. We'll see you then.